Alrighty then. I'm working on knives and the boat today. This is Monday. All the foam is out of here, except what poured into the scuppers here. They're clearing the bottom. I'm not going to try to dig all that out. Way too much trouble. This side is done. Everything's out of there. And next step is, I'm not quite sure. I think I may go ahead and get the other foam out and start cutting and fill this front up. I was going to put lids on this and make this a storage compartment on both sides with some foam in there. I may still do that, I'm not sure. Because I'll have storage in the back and storage up here when this piece goes back in. That'll make sense when it gets in there. The more storage I have, the more stuff I'll carry. And I know me, I will carry way too much stuff. So I'll get some foam cut and put in there and see what it looks like, and I'll decide later. Because if I do make these storage, that means I have to have more hinges, more locks, and all that kind of stuff costs money. And we all know that most of us don't have a lot of money to fool with. So we'll see. We will see. Alright, and I should have some, I know I said it before the other day, should have some finished knives to look at later on today. When the epoxy dries on the handles in there, I'll get back in there and get to work on those. Cool. Good Tuesday morning. There is 2 Royal Gamblers in Purple Heart. That is the 3rd coat of finish. Let it dry. There's a humongous chopper, which I'll show you that later on. Handle's drying on that. Sheaths for the Gamblers and another sheath for this one in the works. That's also dried. And while everything is drying, I'm going to go back and forth and work on the boat some today. Worked on a little bit yesterday. I don't remember if I put it on yesterday's clip. But I did manage to get the rest of the foam out the front. Most of it. Now they put this in, they pour it like it expands. And all these scuppers in here are plugged up except for a couple down in here, which I can't see a way to get all that out, so we'll just deal with that. Now originally I was going to make a storage compartment on either side, but I have another idea for one side, and I'm just going to close the other side up. I'm not going to store a bunch of stuff up there. This middle compartment here, I am going to do something here. I'm going to put another piece in and make it flat. And I'm going to use this spot to put a 3rd battery. I'm actually going to use a lawnmower battery. And that's going to run my big LED light that's on that boat there. I may get a smaller one to go on here, because they've really got inexpensive now. They're not all that much to get those. But if I get a light like that, I used a lawnmower battery on that one about 5 times over the last couple years. Never lost its charge, because that LED bulbs light bars, they don't use much. So that's what this is, and there'll be a lid here, and of course a lid on the live well. And speaking of live wells, that's what I'm going to do next today. I'm going to take both of these out and get ready to replumb them, because it's hard to see down in there, but there is wads of silicone on the drain where somebody has patched it, which tells me it was leaking. So since it's this far apart, I might as well take it apart and fix it properly. I'm pretty sure I've got the plumbing for it. Just got to drill these rivets out here. That's no, and I got more rivets to go back in. That's no big deal. And the inspout, you can't hardly see it, but it's there. That needs to be replaced. Same with this back live well. Now the drain on this one is not siliconed, but the inlet is, where obviously it had been leaking. So that's going to be today's project. Get these out. I'm going to check the piping underneath there. If I feel like I don't have to replace it, I won't, but I may go ahead and do it anyway, because that clear tubing like that is not that expensive, and I would rather it be right. Well, I know it's right before I put it all back together. And after that's done, then I'll take it out in the yard and scrub it down inside good with Scotch-Brite, get everything clean, and then get ready to seal those rivets in the bottom. So that's today's adventures. And my main computer in the house where I do all my uploading videos, the computer is dead. I don't know what happened to it. It died. The boys looked at it last night and they told me what it was, and it's just like speaking Greek to me, so they said they'll get it fixed this afternoon or tomorrow. So, like I said, this is Tuesday. No telling when this will come out, but as soon as I can get it out, I'll get it out. Alright, I'll show you something else in a little while. That was the hardest job of the entire project so far. Goodness. I'm glad I did that, because I found some cuts and splits in this inlet hose. And where that went in, that was crimped. I don't see how any water could get in there. I can fix that with new. It's got to have new hose for sure now. There's the back live well. Live wells themselves seem to be in good shape. It's just the plumbing. Got it all laid out here. Now this drain is not tubing, it is actually pipe. And it won't hardly bend. Very old, very brittle. I just barely got this one fitting off. And it had a bunch of old, nasty, stinky water in it. So, there's a better way to do that. And the next time I get to the hardware store, and I'll look around and see. Now, this looks almost like electrical conduit, is what it looks like. Maybe, I don't know. But there is a better way to do it, like I did on the old boat, and I'll do that. But that'll be not today. That'll be a different day. Alright, right quick, there's the hole. There's a bunch of leaves and junk down in there. I don't want to put anything back together dirty, so all that's got to be cleaned out. All that's got to be cleaned out too. Now, that was such a labor-intensive project that I'm going to go back in the shop where it ain't so hard. Get back on some leather. We'll figure out something else. One more thing. Answer my buddy Ron. When I said the boat was too far forward, the boat itself should be sitting right back in here. I understand what you were saying about moving the tongue. The tongue's not the problem. When I cranked it forward up here, it come to this roller here, which is too far back. Now what I'm going to do, I've got a stop. It's a V-shaped stop. I've got one, I think it's up there somewhere. I'm going to move the boat back, and I'm going to take this roller here out altogether. And I'm going to add a piece of square steel here to go this way and put the stop on the end of it. So when I crank the boat up, it'll stop further back this way. From here to here is fine. All that's fine. That won't affect that. And I'm surely not going to try to unbolt any of this. But it should be a fairly easy fix. and I'll show it to you again when I do it. It'll make more sense then. But yeah, I did see your comment, buddy, and I appreciate that. Let's see, let's look right quick. I think I might have one of them things I was talking about. Oh, we'll see. Yeah, like that. That's been up there for quite a while, but it's still good. See, and it will come up here similar to something like that, maybe even another roll or something, just to stop me before I roll it too far up on there. Just want to mention that right quick. Now, I took this live well pump off and tested it. Will not come on. So I took it apart, and I'll say that's pretty much toast. Now, remember when I took the foam out, I told you I could smell salt water? I had been in salt water. This came out of the inlet hose that pumps water in. That is white beach sand, which means they've been all around the intercoastal and the Gulf and all that with it. And sand is all through there, I'm quite sure. The salt has already corroded that motor, just the outside casing, and I know it's worse inside. So that answers that question. The aerator pump, nope. Now if you're going to run in salt water a lot, and I mean salt water like the Gulf and all that's real salty, they make a special pumps for salt water that they're all stainless on the inside. Now I'm going to be running 90% of the time in the river in fresh water, sometimes in brackish water in the bay, but I'm not going to be up on the sand where I'll suck sand into it like that. So the bilge pump that's in there, I'm not even going to test it. I'm just going to get rid of it along with this one, because the thing you do not skimp on, in my opinion, is a bilge pump, a good bilge pump, and a good fire extinguisher. Now the aerator pump, if it quits, you know, it's not a big deal. But the bilge pump can save your butt. If you take on water for whatever reason, you know, God forbid, you got a way to pump it out. So I will be needing a bilge pump and a live well pump. If anybody has one or both and would like to do some trading, let me know, because I cannot afford to go buy each one of those right now. But also it's not a big hindrance on getting the boat finished. I can put that in at the very end. But just something to throw out there. Throw these away. I'll be back. Alright, it is Wednesday afternoon, a little after 12. Computer is still dead. My laptop out here in the shed, I can't load anything on it because it's on its last legs. Maybe tonight or tomorrow, the boys will have the parts in and get that thing fixed for me. So let me show you from yesterday the finished knives. Well, knives I was working on, they're all finished now. Now this first one here is, you've seen this knife before. That's one of the neck scabbards, neck skinners that I made. And the sheath was one of these. And fellow didn't like the sheath a whole lot, so he sent it back to me, and I made him a new sheath in the Gambler style. One of the horizontal sheaths right there. Now I wet formed these. Fits pretty tight, and once you put it through your belt, that will tighten it up that much more. So there you go, Brother Ken. That's going to be on the way out to you tomorrow, I hope. And let's see, this one is for my friend Eric, Royal Gambler in Purple Heart. Right there. Same thing with the sheath. It is a horizontal. Fits in there real tight, and once you, just like all these, once you put that on your belt, it will tighten it up that much more. Now also for Eric. Now, Eric's been over here several times and I have not managed to get him on camera, but I will one of these times. He wanted a big chopping cleaver. There you go. Now this is a massive piece of crown stag that I've had for a long time. Just waiting for the right piece to put it on. There you go. Now this one is flat across. Be careful not cut myself, it's very sharp. Now believe it or not, this is for fish. Now Eric goes out and catches sharks. You catch a shark, if you're going to keep him, you do not want him alive in the boat. So what they'll do, they'll take something, think this, and cut the head off. And this very heavy, very hard steel, very sharp. One good swipe should handle that problem of a live shark in the boat. Now I've still got to make the sheath for this one. I've got to get some more leather, but I'll make a cleaver sheath for that one. And he will be over as soon as he can to pick these up. Now I have one more Royal Gambler for Mr. Gary. Also in Purple Heart. Right there. Same thing with this one, is wet form to the knife. And just like the other ones, once you put it on your belt, that will tighten it up that much more. And that is on the way to you shortly. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blades right there, and I'm fixing to do the blade etching on. They will be available hopefully by the end of the week. Now these will have either gar skin or rattlesnake skin sheaths, and I'll show them to you again when we get done. Now for example, camp knife, sharp finger, 2 camps, a sharp finger, an antler skinner. Now these will not be website prices because of the sheaths. They'll be a little bit more, and I'll explain each one as I get them done. And I'll tell you all now, I'll tell you again, the last 3 months the shop has been operating in the red. I don't know why, I don't know what's happened, but orders have just stopped. Like I said, I don't know why. Is there something going on I don't know about? If there is, I had one friend of mine say, well, was somebody bad mouthing you somewhere? Well, not that I know of. But if that is the case, y'all, somebody please let me know, because I don't know what's happened. Because if I don't turn the shop thing around here this month, there won't be a shop. I'll quit. Because I can't spend day after day working on stuff, and man, I love my trades, I really do. But I mean, it takes money to run the shop. That's understandable. So if something's going on, let me know. I've not been on the social media thing a whole lot lately. YouTube is not what it was when I first joined up. It's not fun. A lot of the videos, a lot of the channels I used to watch are gone now. If they're not gone, they put out a video every 6 months. The live things I used to listen to and participate in, some of those are they're just not fun anymore. Somebody gets butthurt about a comment, or somebody gets accused of saying this or saying that, and it's just, I don't know, it's just not fun. Or somebody tells you what to do and how to do it, and yeah. And then other folks get to arguing with each other, so that's why I don't participate anymore. I'm just done with it. So, having said all that, I'm going to get these blades etched. That's what I meant to say. And get them heat treated, tempered and all that today. And either tonight or in the morning I will start the sheaves. And they're going to be pretty. And I'll show them to y'all tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow afternoon. It is 84 degrees here right now. It's too hot to forge still. But we have a big cold front coming in tomorrow. It's supposed to bring some thunderstorms and this and that, and then get cold after that. So maybe I can be on the forge Friday or Saturday morning. Because I do have a couple of projects still that I've got to do out there. Alright, hope y'all enjoyed this mixed up video. We've got we got knives, we got the boat, we got all kind of stuff. So, I thank y'all for watching. I thank you for your support. And I will see y'all the next time I see you.